I worked, and what was crazy, Joe Frazier I was Joe Frazier's manager, but also worked with Muhammad Ali, who dated really.
Yeah.
That clique was a little, and then I worked with Muhammad Ali's daughter, who today is my wife just talked to her a couple of days ago because she's an excellent cook and has 2 or 3 television shows. So I had a relationship with Joe and Muhammad, which was kind of off the chain.
Wow.
It was like you're married and you're cheating and your wife knows it and okays it.
Yeah.
You know, that's gonna get you in trouble. But Joe Frazier, I would say, was the closest to me. And then when I got into MMA, it was a whole different world. MMA is a whole different world than boxing.
Yes, sir.
And that is, in boxing, especially the era that I was involved in, the guys were all superstars. All of them. Back when I was in the top 12 guys, everybody knew. But boxing, the superstars, they stayed like that. Back in the day, if you saw Mike Tyson or Evander Holyfield or Oscar De La Hoya, how close could you get to them?
Can't.
Couldn't. How close can you get to Chuck Liddell or Randy Couture?
Couldn't.
You could. And that was
the difference. That's the difference.
That was the difference.
Gotcha.
In boxing, you couldn't do that. But when I came to MMA, Randy Couture and Chuck Liddell and Anderson Silva, Dana was okay with it, and I pushed it. Mm-hmm. Fans were able to touch their athletes and interact with the athletes and respond to the athletes. And it kind of flipped things around. And the corner guys were very different. In boxing, if you worked at a gym on 5th Street, you didn't go to the gym on 6th Street. You weren't allowed on 6th Street. And if you went on 6th Street, you got a 6th Street ass whooping. Okay?
Yes, sir.
In MMA, I saw guys come to the fights that were fighting each other that changed corners. Or guys that worked out with the same guy that he was fighting for 3 months and went. I that was so strange to me. And I really didn't understand that, but I understood it because it made sense. So there was a big difference between how boxing superstars and MMA superstars gave themselves to the public. MMA was unbelievable. You went to a boxing event, you got a bout sheet. That was a sheet with all the fights on it. Boxing, you got a bout sheet and you had 13 fights on it. You knew the main event and co-main.
And that's it.
You go to MMA, you get